idea that got us the closest we've ever been. And I'm gonna come back around. It wasn't perfect, but we got another opportunity here.
But ask him where he got the idea from.
I know where you got it from.
No? Ask him where he got the idea from.
Where'd you get it from, Dave?
Sitting right here.
You know what I'm talking about, the monitoring thing.
Yeah, sitting right here.
It came
You're on your medication.
Whatever
I
happened
could sit right here.
in the last 30 years, it's
Take all
good.
the
It
vacation.
came from the mama. All right, we just got that. We got that out the way. It's going down the road. Now,
So,
one thing I'm gonna say,
Take that off the real.
when we're talking about Shuraa, and I kind of have a little funny thing.
Another one.
I'll get a whole lot of them. I'll stay here long enough. I'll give you a couple of years. Shuraa to leaders is what inshallah is to individuals.
say it again.
Shuraa to leaders is what inshallah, no, Shuraa to leaders is what inshallah is to individuals. You ask the brother something, brother, you do this? Inshallah. Right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. You ask the leader, will they do something? I gotta take Shuraa. You follow? Neither one of them intend on doing anything.
But it's
So
not,
when you're a leader, that gives you the privilege of saying Shuraa. But if you're in it, when you just operate on your own, you say inshallah.
but it's not always that case now, that's what I'm saying.
They understand what I'm talking about.
Right.
I don't need to
Yeah,
comment.
but they're exceptions.
I don't need any
I know, but they're exceptions.
editorializing what I just said.
But they're
They
exceptions.
understand
Yeah.
the light
I
of
want
what I
everybody to
read.
understand the exceptions.
They ain't that slow.
Yeah.
Are you saying they are?
No, you said
And you know what's scary? What's scary is that we are in danger of becoming like every other Muslim. Allah forgive me. We're in danger of becoming like a lot of Muslim communities who are quoting their leaders and carrying around protective scripts and manuscripts, but are not able to effect change in their society.
yeah,
We got to be very careful.
yeah. But inshallah, brothers, we have the solution. I want y'all to understand something. Inshallah, we have the solution to that danger. And let's be clear. Allah says in Al-Quran, Allah says this, if you have faith, iman, he said he will help you. This is what Allah says. He will help you. If you change, Prophet Muhammad said, if you change what's in your heart, he'll make your conditions better. So we have to believe, and believe strong enough, some of us would know. I mean, there's a reason that Fayetteville has built 2 masjids. We had to believe. And when everybody else thought they couldn't do it, and they thought that we thought we were God, because we said we're going to do this. But we believed, and then we asked Saudi Arabia, and Saudi Arabia sent us some money. So when you believe in something strong enough, then, that's what I'm saying, when you believe in something strong enough, then you ask for everything that's necessary to make it successful. And inshallah, Allah will send us what's necessary. Now today, some of us believe today that this group here, it's got to be taped, it's going to come up with solutions for the national Shuraa, the national community. That's our goal. So that every masjid will learn how to be a better masjid and have a Shuraa. Every masjid should have a Shuraa. Not just an imam, but every masjid should have a Shuraa. And that Shuraa should be active. And one of the reasons that we've been successful to this point, we come back to the realization that there is a Shuraa, and you have individuals who will listen to that part of Prophet Muhammad's Sunnah.
What we did in Fayetteville happened in spite of, not because of. Now, just put it like that.
Yes, sir.
That's the intellectual.
It happened in spite of.
So,
Thomas?
Yeah, you know, we live.
it's Brother Archie from Fayetteville again. So yeah, I agree with, belief is a strong thing, because the Quran is talking to believers. It's not really just talking to people who have accepted anything. It's talking to those that are standing up for it. With that point being said, I remember last year, no, not last year, but last time I saw the imam, he was in Raleigh, and he made a joking comment. He said, everyone said they following me. He said, don't follow me across the street. And that being said, today, I understand that we're not following him, he wants us, like he used to say, this is my community. And you can't say that unless you believe and you're actually physically doing something. Physically doing something. Because
Building something.
we all came out from church. So we all know. Now the brother made a comment, and my analogy is we're getting like the churches.
No, we're not getting like.
We just believe,
No, we're not getting
but
like.
we don't have a lot of action.
If you don't mind, I'll bring it back. Fear of success. That's real. All right.
It's real. Yes, sir.
We have, let's say, 33 years in talking every day. Let's say during those 33 years, a few things have happened to give us a sense, an illusion of success. All right? We've held some conferences, and we went here, we went there, somebody got invited there, somebody did this. We have the illusion of success in this community. And the illusion of success is enough to satisfy and or put a lot of us to sleep. Okay? I mean, and then we have what I call, I didn't get in my mind, but in other words, when somebody asks me something, I refer to Atlanta and say, you know what, look how Atlanta's doing. Or I'm going to say New York or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or we'll say, guess what? Fayetteville built a new mass theater.
That's right.
All right? But, forgive me, I ain't did shit. Okay? I didn't do nothing. All right? All I'm doing is borrowing or living on somebody else's coattail. That's where most of us live in this community.
You're right about that.
We live on somebody else's coattail. We spend most of our time talking about someone else's doing.
Right.
And even if you measure Atlanta or some of these places that we are so proud about, they've been in the same status for 10 years.
Inshallah.
Okay? I'm not saying because, I went there and measured it or this and the other. I'm saying all of us, if we begin to get real with ourselves, we know that in the last 10 years, very little progress has been made. Let alone when we're talking about after the imam passing, it gets even less. And let alone even more divided and diluted.
That's right.
I'm using a real example. I'm not against any of these things. But my point is and the community is complaining. You have so many conventions, so many different things going on now. The people are saying, one, I don't even know what to go to. I can't afford to go, so I just stay at home. And then, who are these groups?
Yeah, that's right.
Who are they? Have you gotten one financial report from anybody? Has anybody did anything new with anything? Okay? We have the fear of success and we live in the illusion of success. All we're trying to do is change that dynamic. Not only do we want to no longer fear success,
That's right.
we want something real to refer to as successful.
Something you can
Now,
touch.
you can say it could be this,
Right.
but it really doesn't matter what it is, as long as we manifest something. Okay? And that's right now, that's the major thing we're trying to do. And I would agree, Sister B, we need tasks when we leave here. I don't know how clear they're going to be. I don't know. I didn't come here with a plan. I came with a dream, a hope, a wish.
Allahu Akbar.
I took whoever said, I'm going to be there. I didn't call anybody special to say, will you come, will you? I didn't even ask the host to support this. I didn't ask anybody to support this except the community. Okay?
I do the same thing. I do want to help you too.
I cannot help you right now. I cannot help you. I'm in a meeting, okay? I'm going to have to get back to you. No, I got to get back to you. I got something going on at home, but I can't deal with it. I can't deal with it right now. I mean, you understand what I'm saying? I mean, because right now, I don't want us beating around the bush and doing a whole lot of yada, yada, yada. We only have so much time, and we're getting at the end of that time.
We're gonna get it
So
now.
I don't want to placate the situation anymore. Everybody with me?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes. I'm not trying to get anybody mad. I'm not trying to do nothing. All I'm saying is we don't want what we say we want. All we're doing is talking about what we want. Because it makes us feel good. It makes us even feel successful. Okay? And be honest with you, some people are wishing, hoping that I drop the ball on this.
You got that right.
Okay? Because they want something to point at and say. Now, again, I'm one person, and believe me, I'm dependent on each and every one of you. Because all I did is make a statement on December 26th that this is what I want to do. And again, thanks to Adam, it was a friendly place to come. We sought other places.
Watch your food.
Okay? That's why we're here. It was a friendly place. It was a difficult place maybe to get to when people said, hey, you know, I got to fly into Raleigh, I got to get a car, I got to drive over there, or whatever, all those things are. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? But despite all of that, we have to be successful.
Right?
If nothing else, if we can, let's say again, leave here with some tasks.
Right.
I don't know what they are. You're going to have to help me figure out what they are. I didn't come here with a task for you, a task for most of you. I didn't even know until I walked in this room. Okay? I had met Mark Talk and David.
Say
The
what?
rest of you, I had never met before. Talked to you on the phone, talked to you on the radio. Okay? So
And I
I'm
think
saying
we
right
only
now.
met- I think we only met, this is the second time.
Yeah, this is only our second time, actually physically meeting. So all I'm really saying now is that we have to have faith
There you
in
go.
us.
There you go.
All right?
That's it.
Now, I'm not discounting Allah. I'm not discounting the Quran.
Absolutely.
But I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not calling on nobody but you. Allah's done his job. There's no cavalry coming.
Inshallah.
There's no new leader on the rise.
Inshallah.
This is just us.
We got it.
This is all it is. Either we do it or we don't.
We're gonna do it,
We
brother.
can shut down and go home. Okay? So that's my thing right now. I'm not discounting anything that God said. All I'm saying is if we don't have any faith in us, if we don't have the will, then let's just all go home tonight. Let's just leave it alone. Okay? Because it just isn't worth it. It's, you know, for me, I didn't know anything about the nation of Islam, but I ran into it through Malcolm X's book, through some things. But my point is this, maybe just like England was saying earlier, I really believe that we were building a community or building a nation.
We are.
I have never stopped believing it. And this is my last attempt. I'm 60 years old. This is my last attempt
Inshallah.
at that. I went to school, got the degrees that I have, because I wanted to build a nation. I mean, I even studied new emerging nations, you know, to figure out what do they do. So now all I'm saying, and I'm going to get off my soapbox here, is this. What we have to do from this point forward, first we have to honestly figure out, do we believe in it? And not just the collective of us in this room, but the collective people who are not here. Do we honestly believe that these people can do this job? I do.
Right.
I think they can.
Absolutely. We know that.
I think they need help. And I don't mean help in the sense that they can't, help in the sense of just right now, just inspiring, being inspiring, doing something. Secondly, when it comes to Shuraa,
That's the key. That's the key.
the model, I guess I would say. I'm not trying to go and copy New Medina or anything like that. I'm trying to put together a model, or presenting a model, and you guys still have to help put meat on this model. That is a people-driven model. Doesn't matter what anybody else does. The people can use it to be successful, to get whatever they want. I don't want us to get caught up in discussing mass gears. Mass gears, as I said to you, is a separate legal entity. It is incorporated. It is a separate legal entity which I personally have no membership in and no control over. So let us don't get into what imams are doing, what masjids are doing. Let's start talking about what can the people do. So the structure that we're building, and we'll get back to that. So we're talking about structure right now. We're talking about something from a purpose point of view and a mission point of view that is going to, as we already said, is going to serve people. And that people can run and operate it themselves. We have the professionals in this community
That's right.
who can do that. All right? So let us get focused on the people. It's hard for us to discuss anything without discussing masjids anymore, because it is the center of our community life. We have no community life outside of basically a masjid.
That's it.
For the most part. For the most part. But I don't. It's an institution in the community. It's not the community. Our job is to build the community. So even if we're talking about a school, it does not have to be started or run by a masjid. We want to start a school and operate a school. People, general people, okay? Or a youth center, or whatever the entity may be. That's what we need to concentrate on and figure out how do we, and I say somewhat leave here. I've heard the expectations. I don't think any of them are out of place. But I do want to say, let us don't think that when we leave here, what I think mostly we're going to be doing is, first of all, I like to think is selling the praise of what happened. Secondly is getting people ready for the next event, the next opportunity, and recruiting people. Because we're going to still be plugging away at this on the radio. And let us figure out, first of all, and I think Mokhtar kind of said it really, and we might have said it already earlier, we need a process, shorter process, that can handle 300 or 1,000 people. If they showed up,
That's right.
we need to figure out how do we manage 1,000 people at wherever. We got to be able to have a process in place that people are going to go here, they're going to go there, how all of this is going to come together. We need to have a process.
And can I add something even more important than that, is in between physical, in-person events, a process to be able to continue forging ahead in between events. Now, how are we going to use the technology? How are we going to communicate with one another to continue moving forward in the direction that we want to move?
And
Because a lot can be done outside of a session.
One major point to add to that, and it's been touched on a few times this afternoon. The human resource, talent, skills, PhDs, physicists, mechanics, bankers, accountants, community developers like me, is that these individuals need to be recorded in your meetings around the country, and as you visit different masajids, different cities, there'll be talented individuals that will go on that list. And when the time comes, you see, we must understand clearly our mission, our goal, our objective is to make sure that every masjid of the Pakistan masjid, every masjid has a shura. See, every masjid is supposed to have a shura. That's the community, the believers who sit on the floor. They make up the masjid shura. That is more powerful, more influential than the masjid shura, which is about 5, maybe 10 people. And once we start bringing those masjid shuras together, we will take off just like a jet rocket. There'll be very little, if anything, that can stop us. But the people in every masjid, they must look for a shura, and that comes from the Prophet Muhammad. And that's your mutual consultation that he ordered us to follow.
And again, Adrian, I'm not trying to make it a bad word. I'm just trying to say you have to stop using the word masjid. Okay? We cannot.
That's different ones.
We are not licensed to deal with masjids. Okay? Our goal again is people.
Thomas, can I clarify, because I think I can help here.
Right.
What the conference, what we hope, inshallah, the conference is aiming to do is to be a resource for the
Okay,
community.
okay.
Be a resource for the community. Whether it could be a business. Adam could have a business. You could be the leader of a masjid. Sister Bina could be the principal or director of a school. Community-wide Shura should be serving as a resource for all those institutions, right?
Absolutely.
Now, when you're a resource, you're not really trying to force. A resource is just what it is, a resource. You're not forcing yourself on anybody, and you're not. And I think what Thomas is saying is, he doesn't want to take CWSC and say, okay, we want all the shuras of all the masjids to do this. But what he is saying, and maybe it didn't come out that way.
Yeah, we can't do that.
Yeah. But what he is saying is that CWSC can be a resource in a whole lot of ways to help masjids if they want the help.
Right.
If they want help.
Absolutely.
But to give them the help, it's going to have to be people powered rather than
I totally
institution
concur.
powered.
But I want everybody to understand, see, that whole mission, that whole concept, that whole intellect discussion, it comes from Prophet Muhammad. You see, you can't get around Prophet Muhammad. It comes from Prophet Muhammad. And he's shown us how to come through this maze, this process, you see, and be successful. And really, we want you to look around Fayetteville while you're here. Look at the blessings that Allah has bestowed on Fayetteville. We have 5 masajids in the area. 1 at Fort Bragg on base. 5. We have Muslims in the military at Fort Bragg. So the Shura, you see, like you said, it's not here to really determine the law, but it is here to let be known, you see, that we have the intellectual power, we have the human resource, we have knowledge of individuals, you see, as a Shura. We can come up with the best solution.
Can I maybe clarify something else that may be a misconception as well? You've used the term, and I know, and maybe we should talk about it, but you've used the term professionals. You've listed off several professionals, but I would like us to be careful in making sure that the people know that the community-wide Shura is not just for professionals.
Right, right.
What we should be trying to do is trying to figure out how we can give every person who wants to be able to help the community a way to plug in to do that. And I think that's what's been missing.
Exactly.
We don't know how to plug
really what I'm saying.
into
That's really what I'm saying.
to help our community.
You're saying the same thing.
Right. And that means a truck driver,
Oh,
a homemaker, a cook, whatever skill, talent, ability, knowledge that Allah has given you, there's a way that you can give that back to this community, even if it's counseling, whatever it may be. So I just want to make sure we clarify the term professional.
Yeah, and you know, one is part of our struggle is to find the right language and find the right word. But you know, if the word really is causing us problems, we do need to discuss it because it's probably locking us down and we can't seem to get past that. Okay? And that's one thing I even said about masjids. We have to learn to speak without speaking of and about masjids. Whatever they're going to do, they're going to do. Okay?
Inshallah.
you know, again, I'm not gonna call a meeting of the man. I have no intention ever of calling a meeting of the man. Never. Do I have an intention of calling a meeting of people? Yes. All right? One, go back, in between this meeting here and whatever is next, I do hope we'll be able to have some online, shorter meetings.
Absolutely.
Okay? Where, again, they got to be focused, they're gonna have to be, you know, but again, we still have to make sure we have a process for processing these things. Okay? Like I mentioned today on the radio, you know, it's meet and greets. We talked a little earlier about people not knowing each other and things like that. And again, we have to start building relationships. This is just not going to work if we don't build relationships. And it doesn't matter, okay? It doesn't matter where, whatever. My thing is like I said, I'm gonna, you know, using me as, I'm gonna sponsor a meet and greet in my home. You know, and I'm going to invite the community and say, come and bring a dish. We're all gonna be able to sit down and talk and just get to know each other. We won't have no big agenda. This is just, how do we get to know each other? How do we work through things? And eventually, hopefully, we'll get to the point where you saying, I'm saying, no, I'm not going to his house. I don't care what he got. I don't care how much fish he got. I'm not going. We got to get beyond some of these things, or get enough people beyond those things. All right? So that when you're sitting down in a room like this, taking care of Shuraa, it really is about the business at hand. Otherwise, we're going to digress into some of these issues. We're going to be talking about masjids, we're going to be talking about imams, and we're going to get nowhere. We're going to get nowhere. So, I'm just throwing this out, but my point is it may be part of the task we need to do. You know, we start some meet and greets. We start, say, this month, this day. We want to have meet and greets all across the nation. In people's homes, have people register, let us know they're having a meet and greet. You know, so we can say, so-and-so's having one over here, so-and-so's having one over there, whatever. I'm just throwing these things out. But we need to know the resources of the community. I know we have lawyers. I don't know who they are. I know we have engineers, but I don't know who they are. I know we have business people, but who knows? You see what I'm saying? So at some point in time, we're going to have some kind of directory or something that says, here is what we have. Because when you're going to have shorter, and let alone say we need a particular, quote, professional, how do we know? How do we get hold of that person? And how do we even know that that person is the right person for this thing? We're going to have to figure out, how do we get in touch with the resources of the community? How are we going to call these people forward? How are they going to trust us enough with some of their personal information? Telephone, email, whatever. Send their resume in, send a picture in. You know, how do we get people to trust us with the information? Thirdly, you know, we need an action agenda. We need to really figure out, what are we, this body here, I guess, what is our agenda? People, you know, we can say we have a mission, we have a vision, but eventually, and in fact they already have, so what's your agenda? That's part of that trust factor. That's part of that factor where people think, see, you're out to get me.
Say that again?
You're out to get me. Or again, we want to attack masjids, we want to destroy, you know, we have to figure out, how do we spell out the agenda? So people understand, this is our sort of 2014 agenda. All right? And at some point in time, we have to, and I say experiment with some mini community shuras.
Yep.
Like, let's just say in Fayetteville, using Fayetteville as an example. Eventually, you're going to have a facilitator or somebody on the ground that's going to be able to call the believers, focus a group like this, and I mean meet outside of the masjid. I'm not saying meet in the masjid, you should meet someplace else.
Or you can meet both places.
No, no, you do not meet in the masjid. This is not a masjid function, okay? The masjid is an entity by
Let me ask
itself.
you